Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC. I'm Emma, and it feels so good to say that again. I am so excited to be podcasting again, to NMJC again, and yeah, that's the good news is that this is the first episode of season 2, and I'm so excited about it. The bad news, please don't be sad. Don't be too sad. But I am going to do NMJC alone. Julio is not going to be my podcast co-host anymore. We are no longer co-hosts, and that is perfectly fine. Jay Ferris, if you're listening, we might need a new intro that just has my name. It's not bad news for like our relationship or Julio in general. I think that I just like podcasting more. Sharing stuff online and sharing stuff on the internet is not for the weak. It really isn't. It's a very vulnerable thing to do. You're subject to a lot of people's opinions, a lot of people in your life's opinions, and it can get overwhelming. And for someone who is a people pleaser or cares about what people think, not saying that like Julio is like that, but I think he's just more like that than me, which is fine because I feel like most people are like that. Most people have a ton of insecurities about sharing stuff online and being vulnerable in front of an audience, and that like not everybody has to be a podcaster, not everybody has to share stuff online and be an influencer or put themselves out there. Like I don't think it's a bad trait because I think it's a very common one. Anyways, the reason why we paused doing the podcast in February was because Julio wanted to focus on getting a new job and I wanted to focus on making money. Because listen, guys, like the pandemic was tough. Still is tough, obviously. It's like still going on. I had a hard time like the first bit of this year, like January to April, like was really tough for me. And I don't like to throw around the words depression and anxiety because even though I might like feel those things and feel like I have them, like I don't want to like self-diagnose myself or disrespect the people who have actually been to a psychiatrist and been diagnosed with those conditions, because I think that's a bit like unfair. And long story short, I was really sad. I was waking up every day like what the fuck am I doing with my life, and going to bed every night being like, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, I'm gonna get this done, like I'm gonna make myself more proud tomorrow, and then waking up and being like, well, what do I have to be productive about? Like what am I working towards? Like what is the point of me doing anything productive when like my productivity wasn't even gonna get me out of the situation that I was in, but it was just like lies that I was telling myself and a lot of like self-doubt. I was on my friend Valerie's podcast. It's called the Creative Entrepreneur Podcast. Go listen to my episode. I'm pretty sure it's episode 5 or 7. I don't know, but you'll see my name in it. But anyways, you should go listen to that episode because I explain more of like what I was feeling the first part of this year. Yeah, so I just wanted to focus on making money. Really, that was why I wanted to take a break. And Julio, luckily, I mean, I knew this was going to happen, but he found a new job that he really likes. And yeah, we can all be happy for him. And he's also working on music. So we can all be happy for him that he has a day job and he has a passion and he knows what he wants to do with his life, and that is amazing and beautiful for him. And Julio also doesn't listen to podcasts. Like, I listen to podcasts all day. Like, I listen to at least one a day, but usually it's more like 5. Like, I listen to so many podcasts. I love podcasts, and I love people who are just like real, open, honest, vulnerable. And yeah, I love listening to people's conversations, hearing people talk, getting to know more about people. And I think that's why I have such a passion for wanting to podcast myself. But Julio doesn't listen to podcasts, so he doesn't have that same urge or passion to share himself. And that's completely fine. But I'm not going to promise anything, but he said he will appear at some point. He'll be a guest at some point. And maybe we'll be talking about something like really cool that he's doing. I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. Throughout my life, a lot of people have brought up to me that they thought I was intimidating before they got to know me. Side note, you know that TikTok trend? It was like an old thing where it's like, looks like they could kill you is a cinnamon roll. Looks like a cinnamon roll could kill you. Looks like they could kill you, could kill you. Looks like a cinnamon roll is a cinnamon roll. Like you can just think of people in your life and like, oh, do they look like intimidating or do they look like a cinnamon roll? And then like, if that's stands correct, you know? And I feel like I look like I could kill you, but I am a cinnamon roll. Like, I'm so friendly and loving, and like I only want the best for people. And I just like, if I have one negative thought, I'm like, oh my god, I need to like do something nice for some. Like, I'm so like a karma. I don't believe in like a lot of things, but I believe in karma so heavily. I think I've talked about that on the podcast before, but yeah, so because of that, because people have always been like, oh yeah, I thought you were intimidating before I met you or before I got to know you, I am an oversharer and I will talk your ear off and I will like smile as much as possible when I'm talking to somebody. Like, this is just like natural things I do. Like, I'm not even trying to do it, but I just like want people to know that like I'm safe. Like, this is a safe zone. Like, this is a safe space. Like, you can be safe with me. Okay, back to like where I've been. So obviously, yay, Julio, new job. But for me, I was gonna say New York. I did LA Fashion Week last October, and I did it again in April. And it's a really great experience, especially for me who wants to go into like fashion photography, work with models, work with agencies, work with brands. Like, it's a really good opportunity, but it is not a paying one. And even though it's not a paid opportunity, it's a very strenuous and can be stressful and demanding one, because like you want to edit the pictures super quickly so that the models post your photos first, or the brands post your photos before everybody else's, and it can get like really competitive. But yeah, there's a really bad downside, and that is that it's not a very paying industry, unless you know how to do that, which I just don't yet, but I'm figuring it out, guys. I'm figuring it out. I really am. I'm trying my best. I think we all can agree that it's been a crazy couple of years, and there's a lot of things going on in the world. And when you're I'm an empath. You know, like, people always are like, but I'm an empath, you know, like, I don't want to be annoying like that, but like, I really, like, instead of saying an empath, I'm just gonna say I feel a lot. I feel for people. I feel so deeply that it can be like paralyzing sometimes. So when a lot is going on in the world, I'm like, I can't get out of bed. And like, why would I work on myself when like the world needs work? But anyways, working for yourself, sorry, back to the point. Working for yourself is really, really hard. It's a really hard thing to do. And, you know, everything special is hard, and it's very special to be able to work for yourself. And I did it for so long. I was able to sustain a healthy career working for myself for a long time until the pandemic. So having this year be not as fruitful as other years was really hard, and not having a lack of motivation and a lot of self-doubt just because I've been out of practice, out of routine for so long because of the pandemic, was really putting me down. And I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be in charge of myself anymore. I don't. You have to wear so many hats when you work for yourself. You have to be the good guy and the bad guy at the same time, and it can be really stressful and demanding, and it just gets to a point where it's so overwhelming that you don't want to do anything. And that's why a lot of people give up. That's why a lot of people give up on their dreams. And I'm not, after all this, I feel like, oh, well, she gave up. No, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm just supplementing my income with other things that are not directly related to how much I pitch myself or how much marketing I do or how much work I get as a photographer or videographer. Like, I now have multiple forms of income, where as before I was just going off of my one bread and butter, which turned into nothing, starving. Basically in my starving artist era, okay? We all need to have one, right? But anyways, I did New York Fashion, or oh my God, I keep on saying New York because New York Fashion Week is on my mind because I'm going. So I did LA Fashion Week, and after that, I worked like 6 days straight, like from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, like shooting, editing, getting pictures over to people, organizing folders in my hard drive to like send every model their pictures and every brand their pictures. And I was working so hard and so fast. And at the end of those 6 days, I was like, oh fuck, like I really like doing this. Like I really like working. I'm a really hard worker. Like I need to have more confidence in myself and less self-doubt, because I'm actually very, very good at what I do. But I am now more in debt because of this thing that made me realize that I'm really good, because I had to pay for parking at the fucking event. It was kind of a wake-up call to be like, okay, I really, really need to get my shit together now. So when I first moved to LA, it wasn't like I wasn't working for myself straight off the bat. I was applying, interviewed for so many jobs, like just like office assistant positions or like receptionist at like an entertainment company or production assistant. And I did some PA work here and there, but like anything I interviewed for, any interview I did, I didn't get the job. And it was, for a multitude of reasons. And a lot of them were like political reasons, but whatever, I won't get too much into it. But then I started working with a temp agency. And if you don't know what a temp agency is, it's pretty much like I was basically like a freelance receptionist or a freelance office assistant. I got a bunch of good jobs with them, got this long-term temp gig at the same time that I started working for a famous fitness YouTuber. And then that started making me more money. Doing the YouTube stuff started making me more money than what I was making as a receptionist. So I just kind of quit that. And then that's when I started fully working for myself, right? It didn't even occur to me like, oh, let me go back to my temp agency until after LA Fashion Week. And Julio and I remember we were just talking one day. I think we were in the hot tub actually. And I was like, how do I make money? I'm like, oh, maybe I should, or maybe I think I was thinking about it in my mind, but Julio said it out loud. He was like, oh, maybe you should go back to the temp agency. And I was like, you know what? I should. Like, that is actually like not a bad idea, Julio. And I was already thinking about it. And the fact that you just said it out loud without me saying it out loud is like, oh shit, like I should do that. So that clicked for me. And then I reached out to my rep at the temp agency from, 5 years ago, and she remembered me, and it was just so nice to talk to her. And she was like, oh yeah, you were one of our best. Like, everyone loved you, and we'll set you up. Like, we'll have you like in the next thing that comes up. Like, I don't know. She was just being so nice. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this again. And I was like completely fine with it because, like I said, like, I don't want to be in charge of all of my income at this moment. At this moment, the world is too chaotic. My mind is too chaotic. I don't want to be in charge of all the money that I need to pay my bills, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys are like following like my thought process, or like, because it's kind of hard to imagine if you haven't ever worked for yourself, but there's something so beautiful about having a weekly or bi-weekly paycheck and having somebody else be in charge of your invoices and all that stuff, or even like getting you gigs. Like, it's really nice. And I hope someday that I have the money to like pay a manager to be like the bad guy or like book me jobs and stuff. Like, that would be amazing. But yeah, it's very overwhelming for me to do it all by myself. Like, yes, I was like really good at it before, but I think just again, like that it's been so long since I've had like steady work for myself, that it feels very overwhelming now. And I feel like I'm starting from square one, and that's okay. That's totally okay to start from square one again. Like, people have to do it all throughout life. People get divorced in their 40s, they have to start over. People get laid off when they're 30, and then they have to start over, start interviewing, applying, interviewing. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many times in life where you'll find yourself back at square one, and you're like, okay, I gotta do it again. But you know what? I learned a lot from the first time, so I'm going to take that into consideration and try to make this even better and get there even quicker, or figure out more things about myself along the way. Like, I think there's something really beautiful from something breaking that you thought was stable in your life and having to build back the pieces again, whether that be for your career, for family issues, health issues, or romantically. And another thing that's really hard about like being a photographer, working for yourself, is that you can be easily taken advantage of. And that's probably more true for women and, people who are nice. And I just like get taken advantage of, or have gotten taken advantage of a lot. And I've had friendships end because of the way that they disrespected me, and that's totally fine. Friendship breakups happen to everyone, but it's just specifically hard when they're like disrespecting your business, which is crazy because my very best friends, like my close friends, pay my prices. Like, they not only do they pay my prices, they recommend me to people, they book me other jobs, and they word of mouth is so important when you work for yourself, and they're always rooting for me and supporting me on my side. People who send me people's stories that they're looking for a photographer, videographer, like that just like makes me so happy that someone like thought of me when they saw an opportunity. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for so many friends I have that are supportive of my photography and are just so like they're my biggest fans, and it's always like the acquaintances or like people I'm not that close to who try to get something out of me for free or try to get a discount, and it's really painful. It's really painful, it's really overwhelming, and it's annoying. And yeah, I hate being the bad guy. I really, really hate being the bad guy. Even though I'm not like a people pleaser, it just like sucks when I like have to be mean. Like I hate being mean. Like I'm not a people pleaser, but I also believe so much in karma that I like hate being mean. I hate having like ill feelings towards people or being annoyed. Like I hate the feeling of being annoyed, but I'm annoyed a lot because I don't know. I feel like there's a very Pisces trait to be annoyed by like stupidity. So I get like my emotions are just like so extreme. So all that to say, I have been having like full-time jobs, which is crazy, that like aren't my already full-time job of working for myself. So instead of working like 24/7 for myself, or, you know, more, I should say like the first part of this year working like 24/7, thinking about working for myself, thinking about what I should be doing to like make more money and work it myself. Now I'm working full-time jobs along with working for myself, which is totally fine. Like there are seasons of life where you're just more busy than others. There's just like times in your life where you're I don't want to say like surviving, but you just have to like work as hard as you can, because you might like saying yes, yes, yes to everything right now might lead you down a path, or will lead you down a path where you can be saying no because you have more opportunities now. So that's what's been going on. I've been getting these jobs from my temp agency. And I had one starting at the end of April that went into the beginning of June. It was at a finance firm, which was very interesting. And then in June, I went home. Well, first, I got COVID. I got COVID in June, which was crazy because it's the first time that I've gotten it. Luckily, obviously I'm vaccinated, but luckily it was very, very mild, and I was only like really sick for just like 1 or 2 days. And I didn't have many symptoms other than like cold symptoms, except for I like couldn't, like the smell of vinegar, like anything with vinegar in it smelled so awful to me. But that only lasted like a week after I got COVID. But anyways, I went home for my sister's bridal shower, which was really lovely. And yeah, I wasn't contagious when I went home. Like it was like 5 days after I started symptoms, the day that or like 6 days after I started a week after I started symptoms, I flew home and I was fine. And yeah, I was just like really tired for a while there, like a month after. But now I'm fine, obviously. And then starting July, I think it was July 11th, I started the job I have now at the Getty. I absolutely love it. I love my job that I have right now. It's Mondays to Thursdays, which is just perfect for my schedule right now because I can do photography and videography and just editing, like everything for my business on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah, the thing about having like a full-time job now along with my photo video work is that I work all the time, and it does not breed for a social life, which is also the reason why I wanted to start back up this podcast again, because I have like zero negative time for friends now, which is really sad. And I really don't like that because I like hanging out with my friends, obviously, and seeing my friends and talking to them in person. Like I like seeing them in person, being able to like hug them and like feel their energy, right? And I just have not had a lot of time to do that in the past few months. I know that all my close friends know that like it's a sacrifice that like I don't want to make, but I have to right now. And it's a good thing that I'm busy and that I'm making money, you know? And quite honestly, like this year, like I wasn't able to be a good friend because of everything that was going on in my head and my circumstances. And I didn't feel like I could show up as a good friend for a lot of people in my life. And I know a lot of my friends feel the same way because we're all going through our own shit. Like if you're like okay right now, like you should be worried. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. If you are completely mentally okay, like really good for you. And that's not like good for you. Like that is actually like, no, like that is amazing. Like I'm proud of you. And if you are in that place from getting out of a dark place, I'm so very proud of you because I am working towards that right now. And it is a struggle, but it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding to get to a place again where you feel like yourself and you feel like things are going well for you and that things aren't like, that the world isn't against you and that the world, like everybody doesn't hate you. You know, it's really good to just be in a peaceful state of mind. And I'm so happy for you if you feel that way right now and if that's your situation. If it's not though, if you're like me and have been struggling, or if you're like me right now who you are struggling but like now are seeing a light, right? The light is here. It's like a like more moment, you know what I mean? If you feel like that, like keep going. We got this. Like love you so much. Like it's all going to be okay. And if you're really in the depths of it, please know. Please know that it is so okay to feel negative emotions. There are seasons when you're just like not okay. The important thing is to get better, obviously, and to know that it gets better. That is the most important thing that I need to make sure to say. But it is also okay to be in your negative feelings. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be depressed, to be anxious. It does not mean that you are not worthy of good things or worthy of having good emotions. It's just a part of life. Like it's simple as that. It's just a part of life. Struggling is a part of life, and you sometimes need struggle to appreciate or have, you know, your best, highest moments in life. So now I have this Getty job. Things are picking up. I'm getting a lot more photo shoots. I'm shooting after work. I'm shooting Fridays. I'm shooting Saturdays. I'm shooting Sundays. What you don't see, right, from my Instagram is that I'm usually posting on Instagram on my lunch break. I am making reels so that I can make enough money to have a payout for Instagram every month. Cause I get paid for reels on Instagram. So yeah, I'll be making reels at lunch to meet the quota to get paid every month. I will be responding to emails. I will be editing. I bring my laptop with me to work. Some days when I have nothing to do though, it is really nice to just like take a walk around the Getty. Or if I know that day that like I don't have any work to do, like on my lunch break, I'll like try to like put makeup on, put a cuter outfit on, and then like take pictures of myself, which is helpful for you know, posting on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, I'm just like always doing something to help myself out, be more productive, make more money. And yeah, it gets exhausting, but it's okay. Thankfully, I have a very amazing partner, lover, whatever. Luckily, okay, cringe. Luckily, I have a very amazing boyfriend. Julio's very understanding when I have to work a lot. He has to work on his stuff, his personal stuff a lot, like after work as well. So we've just been motivating each other to be better people, quite honestly. And it's been great. Again, I love how understanding my friends are, and and my clients have been understanding of the fact that I'm doing multiple things at once. I lost the point again, Emma. Oh my God. How do you guys deal with me? Why are you listening? No, but really, if you are one of my friends listening to this, I love you so fucking much. I'm sorry I abandoned this podcast for those of you who are true NMJC fans. Like, I very, very much missed you guys, and I'm so grateful that you have stuck around to listen to this first episode of season 2. So a lot has happened, not just in my personal life, not all the shit that's going on in the world. Like, a lot has happened in pop culture since we've stopped this podcast. I don't necessarily remember everything that happened, but I think I'm just going to talk about a couple things. First off, Will Smith. You know what I actually think about him slap? Was it a slap or was it a punch? I think it was a slap, right? I should remember. It was so iconic. I think it was a slap. You know what I really think about that is not he shouldn't have done that, or yeah, he should do that, or whatever. Like, not in the sense of that, but Will Smith has so much money and so much fame. He has all the resources to get the best therapist, to have any kind of therapy he wants, to get a fucking meditation. You can buy a meditation app. I mean, anyone can do that, but Will Smith can definitely do that. He has enough money to buy his own meditation teacher, to have his own spiritual guides, to buy all the crystals he wants in the world. Like, he just has the money to deal with his trauma. And, like, of course, his trauma is not nice. Trauma's never nice. And the things that he's been through in his life, I'm sure there was so many hard moments. But again, he has all the tools to be able to work on himself. And still in the most, like, important night of his career, decided in that instant that he was not a man of peace, and did that. Like, that is, should we all just give up? You know what I mean? Like, sir, you is this making sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do the rest of us have hope? Like, I understand, like, I don't really have childhood trauma, because I'm pretty sure he wrote about this in his book, like how he feels a lot of guilt for not standing up to his dad, for not protecting his mom from his dad being violent towards her. And he, like, you know, wanted to be like the superhero that saved her and stuff. And, like, I'm sure in that moment, that's what deep-rooted feelings that he was going off of. He was like, oh, now is my moment. Now is my moment to get back up my dad, to stand up for my woman, to protect her, to be her superhero. Even when, you know, the Chris Rock wasn't being violent, you know, towards Jada. But I'm sure that's where it came from, right? But what therapy and mindfulness probably would have hopefully taught him was that it wasn't his place. Like, he was just a kid. And his dad being awful towards his mom was not his fault and not his burden. And that was all, like, nothing about it was his fault. Like, I wish, you know, somebody would tell him that, and that he doesn't have to be this, like, strong man for his woman. But whatever, like, at the end of the day, it was fucking hilarious. Like, that was fucking hilarious. Like, that was, like, I already said it, like, iconic. Like, not saying I'm all for it, but, like, you know, I tuned in. I'm not gonna, sorry. I tuned in. I watched the highlights. I watched part of the Oscars because of that. I'm sorry. Ratings up, you know, viewership up. So what? He slapped somebody. Whatever. Get over it, Chris. Like, honestly, like, man up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Kidding. Violence is never the answer. No. It is sometimes. But like, it also isn't, you know? Like, it could be, you know? If you have a problem with someone, you should just slap them in the face. That is the advice that I would give. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Love Island. Love Island. It's, you know, some people, their favorite time of the year is the holiday season. But my holiday season is when Love Island UK starts. That is my Christmas. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But Love Island UK is the best show to ever exist. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. If you come at me like, oh no, Game of Thrones, oh no, Breaking Bad, oh no, blah, blah, blah. Like, sorry. You are wrong. Love Island UK is the best show to ever exist. It is the best show in the world for entertainment. But it is the worst show. It's the worst show for the people, the contestants' mental health. It really, sorry. I guess it's only really bad. Well, I guess everybody gets like a little bit of hate, but the people who are like the villains on the show definitely need help. And I'm glad that they give them like a therapist. Like there's like a whole like wellness like team for Love Island contestants, which is really, really good now, especially, you know, knowing what has happened in the past. But yeah, moving on from that, sorry, just know that I know that. Just know that I know that there's problems with it, but that doesn't mean I can't love it. That doesn't mean I can't watch it, you know? You know, separate the art from the art. No. Please love a fuckboy for the drama. Don't like when the fuckboy gets a lot of hate online. That's not nice. That's not nice. Not nice at all. Because they're just doing things that we all do, that we all have done, you know. Maybe they're 27 doing it, you know. Maybe I was 18 and doing it, 16. Maybe I learned those lessons at a younger age than a lot of the people, but whatever. Not judging. Great television, honestly. I'm just going to say who I think. Okay, first of all, I think this season was superb. I think it had amazing characters. I know they're real people, guys. I know they're real people. I'm just going to call them characters. Great characters, great drama. Fucking Ekin-Su went through so many emotions. That's the thing about Love Island. It's just so beautiful, the journey that you go on through these people, you know. The fuck boy turns into mature man, like finds his manhood. Girl finds her worth. A couple goes through challenges and makes them stronger, and then they win, you know, like there's just so there's so much that happens in that show, you know. It's such an interesting world that they've created for our entertainment. Go to text. All these people, you're like, oh, I hate this person. Then you're like, oh, I like this person. Oh, I love this person. Oh, I don't like. Why did they do that? Oh, I love them again. Oh, I hate them. Oh, why did they do that? Oh, what? I hate them even more. Oh, now I love them. Oh, I'm so glad she did that. You know what? This person that I hated the whole time, actually, like, she's putting on a good show. It's good entertainment. You know, that's kind of like I'm talking about Ekin-Su when I'm thinking about that. Because I went through so many phases of like, I like her, I love her, no, I hate her. No, I love her. No, I hate her. No, I love her. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through like what I think the order should have been, because I think it was so off. Like, I actually hated. Oh my god, I just hated that Luca and Gemma were second. I like them. Don't get me wrong. Like, I really like Gemma. You know what? If you don't have anything nice to say. Yeah, Luca's okay. Anyways, I think Ekin-Su and Davide deserved to win. I think they did. I think they did an amazing job putting on an amazing show, and they were just so entertaining. Obviously, all of UK agreed with me because the stats, oh my God, the stats were insane. Seeing how many people, the percentage of people that voted for them. Holy shit. Like, it was like 60 something percent of people voted for them as the winners. And then everybody else was like 11%, 10%, 9%. Like, you know, it was crazy. But anyways, okay, so I would have kept Davide and Ekin-Su as first place. Even though at the time I was like, no, India and Dami should have won. But like, no, respect the drama, you know? Respect the actor and actress, you know what I mean? You're a liar, you're an actress. Get the fuck out, you know? Like that, iconic. Davide and Ekin-Su, iconic. I would have put second place Dami and India. I love India, and I think Dami's funny. And I think they really carried the show a lot too. I would have put Tasha and Andrew after them, because, you know, they went through so much, you know, I like to tit or whatever. They're, I think, cute as fuck now, and I think they deserved to be in that third place position. And then, yeah, Luca and Gemma, like, they were really on the rocks at the end, so I'm so surprised that they came in second. So, whatever. But I would put them fourth. But really enjoyed the season. And yeah, I'm really excited for Winter Love Island. But yeah, now we're currently watching the US season. I don't know, like, if we're up to date yet. We kind of started it late, but we're like a few episodes after they recoupled from Casa Amor. And it's, you know, it's not UK. They're not cracking on. Obviously, my accent sucks, okay? You don't have to tell me, okay? If you don't like my accent, whatever. I don't care. You know? Or whatever. Like, I don't care. Because I'm still going to try it. And I'm only going to practice it and get better at it, okay? Like, I understand it's not great. But I love talking in an English accent. Anyways, yeah, US season, it's pretty entertaining. Don't fucking know what was going through Isaiah's head, but yeah, okay, I'm not gonna get into it too much in case people aren't caught up. I don't even know if I'm caught up. I don't know where it is right now, guys. I have so much more that I want to talk about. I have so much that I want to share with you and have conversations about, and I am really, really, really excited to be here with you guys again and to start season 2. Hopefully you liked this episode. Hopefully I started on a good note, and hopefully you know, tune in for next week. And you know what? I'm not putting a guarantee that there's going to be weekly episodes because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, because I'm just like easing back into it. And like I said, like, I work every single day. Thank you for listening. At the end, as a treat, as a little treat at the end of every show, I'm going to pose a question to you guys. And with this question, you can DM me, Threma, at Threma on Instagram. You can DM at Threma on TikTok. You can DM NMJC podcast on Instagram. If you have my number, you feel free to text me your answer to this question. But I'm going to pose a question at the end of each episode that I want you guys to answer in some way. You know what? You don't even have to message me if you don't want to, if you don't feel comfortable talking to me, even though this is a safe space, guys. This is a safe space. But if you still don't feel comfortable with me, that's totally fine. Answer it in your head. And maybe you'll manifest that I got your message. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Pisces. I'm very intuitive. I'm semi-psychic. You know, it could happen. You never know. So here's the question that I'm ending the first episode of season 2 with. What problems would you come to me about, me, Emma, Threma, to me about if you needed advice? Like, what do you think I could help you with? You know, if you were having some sort of problem, crisis in your life, like, what would you come to me about? Think about it. Think about it. Let me know, please. Or again, don't let me know if you don't care to share. That's totally okay. And I respect your decision. I respect everyone's decisions. Except for, if you're harming people in any way, but that, doesn't have to be really said here. Guys, thank you. Thank you for listening. Love you all so much. And stay tuned for more. Okay? This is MJC, baby. We're getting started. Season 2. Need a new intro song. So might hit you up, Jay. But yeah, okay. Love you all. Have a wonderful week.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.